Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Stronghold live stream here from Tripwire Interactive. I'm your host, Jared Creasy, Senior Community Manager here at Tripwire, and joining me today is my very special guest, Bryan Wynia, Creative Director of all things Tripwire, and especially Killing Floor 3. Bryan, say hello.
What's going on, everyone? I think we had a few flesh pounds running through the live stream there. We're gonna try this one more time.
Yes, I believe we found a flesh pound in the server room. It has been cleared out, I have been told. So hopefully they keep him out. If things go south again, we'll try and reschedule. Uh, that being said, we're excited. We know many of you are excited. Here we are, just a week from launch of Killing Floor 3. It's been
Yeah.
an exciting time for us. It's been an exciting time for our players. Lots of moving parts are going on. People want to know what's happening, and I think we can help with that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was kind of saying this earlier when we started the live stream, but I think it's very much worth repeating. I want to say thank you to not only the team at Tripwire, but to all of our players, all of our fans, our community. It has been awesome watching streams of you guys playing the game. It's been awesome watching your YouTube videos. Like, I'm loving all of the videos. That's like, here's the S tier build for this perk, or using this gun to level up, like ways to kind of farm biosteel. It's really exciting and enjoyable making a game. It is that much more exciting and enjoyable when you watch people play it and you see things that you never imagined, even in all of the months and years of testing. When it gets out into the wild and you really see it take on its kind of a life of its own. So yeah, just a very heartfelt thank you to all of you guys for not only enjoying it, but your feedback, playing with us, sharing your content. It's very motivating and it's very much appreciated. So thank you very much.
Yeah, to kind of add on to that, based on what you guys are telling us in your feedback and reports, it is directly impacting what we're working on. You may have seen our upcoming year one roadmap, which we've shared, and we'll be sharing it again. We'll continue to share it because it contains a lot of juicy information about where we're headed in the year ahead. And Bryan, correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't have everything on it. There's a couple things out there that'll be fun little surprises along the way, I think.
Yeah, like I'll be honest. I think a lot of you guys know, like when we were working on Zed reveal videos, we always wanted to hide like a frame of what the next Zed would be. And I think you guys may have heard this with other interviews I've done in the past. I'm obsessed with just like teasing information and what the future would look like. So every word that we use to describe what we're working on has intent behind it. There's a lot of thought and a lot of intent behind the difference between a new Zed and a new enemy, for example. I'm not going to go into that right now, but that was like a very purposeful choice. Um, so yeah, just this is just a preview of what the future for KF3 will look like. And I think one of the reasons I'm so excited to kind of be here with you guys today and working with community and Jared in the future is giving you guys previews and updates on what we're working on. Jared's going to probably talk about some of the hot fix stuff here in a minute, but in a moment, I really want to tease and kind of be able to show you some of the kick-ass work that the team at Tripwire has been doing.
Yeah, so let's dive into that. So we have a series of hot fixes coming up. In fact, we hope to get the first one out to you into your hands as early as this week. But sadly, the timeline just didn't work out that way. As you may have experienced, we had a kind of server multiplayer situation that landed around Wednesday. And it took time for the team to dive into what was happening, fix it, and more importantly, figure out why it happened and make it so it won't happen again. So that kind of diverted our plans slightly, but that kind of tells you also where we're headed for our hot fixes. So we know one of the most important things for many of you is, stability and performance. And in our first hotfix dropping next week, I don't have a firm date to share just yet. Stability is chief among it. We're addressing one of our top known server crashes as well as one of our top client crashes. as well as other bugs that we felt were safe to bring forward with that update. We do have more bugs and performance issues on the way. This isn't all we're working on, and I want to stress that. And we will continue to be pushing out these hot fixes in the days and weeks to come, and they will focus on these areas. Just some of these fixes do require more time to cook. They require more testing because we don't want them to increase any instability out there once they've reached the users. So, that being said, we've seen hundreds of thousands of you dive into KF3 in
Yep.
this past week. There's been over 125 million Zeds killed. Uh, it's been fantastic to see so much excitement and Zed slaying going on. And Bryan, you had a chance to share some of that excitement out at Comic-Con. Do you want to share anything about that?
Yeah, for sure. Like, one a big thank you to the team at Tripwire for all of the awesome content. Like, you guys saw what we did with IGN, being able to launch a game, but then go to Comic-Con and share with people in person copies of the games, previews of the game, talking to them live, like doing live events, like when we did PAX previously, or when we do IGN live. It just is really enjoyable to speak face to face with people about the game. IGN, I definitely say, was a little nerve-wracking. Like, letting a game out into the wild is already wild enough, but to then go on IGN, and like IGN at Comic-Con was completely different because there was like celebrities in these different areas, like Dan Harmon and all of the Rick and Morty guys were there. I got very excited though, because if you guys are fans of Maneater, if you're fans of, you know, other Tripwire games, Chris Parnell by chance was just backstage before I got to go on stage. I never had the chance to meet him, so being able to take a moment and just talk to him was really nice. He was very kind. He was very interested in like what, you know, we were doing with KF3 and that. And so yeah, it was just nice to kind of finally meet this person that I've heard his voice for like hundreds of hours during the development of Maneater, and very gracious. I told him, I was joking with him, I was like, my daughters have played Maneater and are very aware of who you are. They have no experience with Killing Floor, and we like showed him a little bit of Killing Floor, and he was like, it's probably best that your daughters don't see this type of violence in games. So he definitely picked up on some of the gore with KF3, so it was a nice, funny moment. So, but yeah, being able to then go on stage and kind of see how people reacted to some of the gore videos that we made, like that video that you guys are kind of seeing play in the background. Our capture artist Thiago and the Killing Floor 3 development team put this together, where it's kind of like a greatest hits from some of our Zed reveal videos and some of the gameplay that Thiago took. Thiago is, in my opinion, like one of the best KF players easily within the studio, but probably out there as well. He comes from the community where he was making like fan favorite videos, and now works at Tripwire. I just absolutely love working with him, and this footage that he put together was just really awesome and really rewarding, and it was just a kind of a nice way to top off the celebration of launching the game.
So Mia, if you could cue us back to our year one roadmap, let's dive into what the future holds. So if you've paid attention to the roadmap, you've seen the first thing coming is the rearmament update. And that's coming later this fall. So it's not too far away, but it is a little bit of time away. And that does give us room to continue to work on some hot fixes where a lot of our engineering efforts are going and a little bit of content efforts are going to try and address some things. But while that work is happening, other content creators that are not tied up in those are working on the future. They're working on new weapons. They're working on new maps. They're working on the separation of perks and specialists, which is coming to you in the rearmament update this fall. That is one of the first things that's going to be in players' hands. We know that's what many of you want to see, so we can't wait to put it in your hands as soon as we can. There's just so much happening. Like, and it's one of the cool things about KF3 that I think I can't stress enough is just how the weapons work. Because with weapon modding, a weapon is not just a weapon that plays a certain way. The weapons can change the feel, the recoil pattern, the type of damage they do. There's just so much going on with weapons and weapon mods. And as we add new weapons to the game, like we are with the Rearmament update and many of the other updates this year, they will come with new mods that
Yeah.
work on both those weapons as well as some other weapons where they make sense. So the arsenal of Killing Floor 3 and how it can be used and kind of customized to your style of play will just continue to grow.
Yeah, I think one of the things I was talking about earlier with this group is I really enjoy a lot of the YouTube videos I've seen where it's like here's my like S tier build for this particular perk or this particular weapon. So those are awesome. It's very helpful to always hear what are things that you guys would like to see. Like, I'm struggling with this. This isn't clear. I would love to see this improvement. But it's also incredibly helpful to see from you guys. I'm really enjoying this. I would love to see more of this in the future. And mods obviously kind of seem like one of those things just based on some of the feedback that we've gotten from testing with you guys, playing with you guys, and from our community group, and then a lot of just the media we've seen online. So there's some pretty fun mods, even for these real world weapons that we're doing in the future, that I'm really excited about.
So, Brian, moving past the rearmament update, there's some cool things that I think the community's also excited to see more
Yeah,
on. And I want to know if you can perhaps
break
tease a little bit
NDAs.
more, break some NDAs. Like I'm not allowed to announce
Yeah,
your things. You, on the other hand, have a little bit more
yeah,
leeway when it comes to making these announcements. So I lean on you and maybe some of the other directors to
yeah,
try and tell some more stories. And I think we've got some exciting maps in Jungle Prison. We've got DJ Scully, a fan favorite, coming back. How do
yeah.
you want to start here? What do you want to say?
Well, like one of my favorite things is my background comes from like character art, right? Um I had an awesome character art review earlier today where we were looking at some of the new characters that we're working on for the future, and I think we should maybe share some of that. Like, I would love that these conversations that Jared and I have with you guys in the community, I would love to literally just kind of give you like a current state of not only the game but things in development. I being a content creator, like sharing new work. So yeah, let's just show you literally like exactly what DJ Scully looks like right now as where we're at in development of him. And we can kind of lead up to, I gathered some images for Mia and Jared to show some of the development images. So let's kind of start at the beginning, like when we go back to the beginning. We're in the process of decoupling specialists and perks. Just to reiterate, the goal there is specialist is literally just like a lore term. So in previous KF games, you would be a merc, right? In KF3, you are a member of Nightfall, this kind of like almost G.I. Joe group of individuals that are like the best Zed hunters in the world that have all been pooled together to basically fight Zeds and fight these new threats that are going to be popping up throughout the world. So with that being said, there are new members that are joining Nightfall. There are fan favorites from the past and also just tripwire favorites. Like we always knew Mr. Foster was someone that we wanted to have. DJ Scully is someone that we wanted to have. There's some other ones I don't want to dive into just yet, but there is a folder somewhere that I will not break NDA on yet of
Oh,
just
I'm
like
so
classic
excited for that
fan
folder.
favorites. Dude, I did see someone say Ash Harding in chat. I will say that there was like one of the earliest sketches was of Ash Harding. Not confirming that's going in or not, but I always enjoyed Ash as well. But yeah, so like when we're going through the process of identifying whether it is like a fan favorite character returning or establishing somebody new, we usually start up with some sort of creative brief, right? So for example, we knew we wanted DJ Scully back in. How do you have a character survive that period of time? So for Mr. Foster, he's a clone of the original Mr. Foster. I will let you guys know here, and I think I might have said this in the past, like maybe at a PAX panel, but this is the original DJ Scully. This is not a clone. This is not like the dark version of it or whatnot. I won't go into a ton of details because part of season 2, you'll be getting a new assignment campaign. And part of that assignment campaign is essentially a rescue mission and kind of giving some lore and backstory on DJ Scully. Now, this is for fans that know who DJ Scully is. It is also for people who are completely new to the franchise to introduce them to this character. So after we get through that kind of like creative brief of like, we know we want DJ Scully, we want it to be the original character. This is kind of like how he's been put on ice. Not so much of a subtle hint there. Jared is perfect, like just say it. Um, we start with sketching. So Eric Tron, one of our fantastic concept artists, one of my favorite character designers, he did a fantastic job of bringing a lot of our kind of starting cast of characters to life, but he's really stepped up his game with DJ Scully here. Um, Starting with design, we look at it like a funnel, right? So this is at the top of the funnel where we're taking a lot of ideas, throwing them at the wall, and seeing what sticks. And then throughout the development phase, like in the next image, if these are just early ideas of what DJ Scully's head could look like, and we're trying to capture that character, in the next image, you'll see there's going to be like a series of multiple body sketches. So in these multiple body sketches, you'll see here, we start to kind of hone in on um, what does the shape of him look like? Is his hood up? Is his hood down? One of the things you'll also notice here is like there's always that classic origin of like, this is, especially for a character that's coming from the past, this is the landmark. How has he grown over time? Are we capturing some of those general shapes, general color palettes, the things that even if he gets a updated or new outfit, is it capturing so that old players, new players, everyone in between are getting DJ Scully vibes from it? So I think some of the things that we really identified here is obviously his mask, the value and color of some of his clothing. We're still very interested, like we've done with Mr. Foster, where he has a new updated costume, but he also has, you know, the ability to equip a cosmetic that is his classic previous KF iterations, which I'm sure we'll do with DJ Scully, but we're really focused right now on what is a near future version of DJ Scully when he's, you know, kind of thawed out and recruited to join the team for Nightfall. What does that look like? So
Would you say he's angry or angrier because of this?
you know, I mean, I think he's just anxiously ready to get back into the fight is what it is. I don't know if I would necessarily paint him as an angry guy. He is
Okay.
still a little more lighthearted. He- there are elements with him sometimes that I do think him and Mr. Foster have these, I wouldn't necessarily say lighthearted, but there is a lot of like Deadpool-esque Merc with the mouth type of vibes that they have to them. And yeah, I love this phase of character design where you're getting to explore multiple options. Now, when we get to this point, we're going to kind of switch over to the next image here, and we're kind of like moving down that funnel of design where we have all of these ideas on paper, but how are we visually communicating them to players? So in these next images, we start to refine that search where we zoom in. We start to look at some of the props, like how does this read as a bust, right? Um, One of the things about a character, like my background's blurred right now. I think maybe you guys have seen a live stream or interview with me in the past. Outside of this like KF approved background, it's just a bunch of fucking action figures and like resin model kits. Like I very much am a fan of these types of things. And when we're at this stage, we are looking at a very easy litmus test is like, would I want an action figure of that? Would I want a statue of that? Would I want a toy of that? Like, do I want to equip that cosmetic or that character when I'm playing the game? And once again, I think Eric is really starting to kind of hit on those notes. Um, Now, at this point, we're getting further and further down the development pipeline. So I would say looking at the next image is where things really start to come together as a whole. we're leaving the concept phase to one stage. Like, I don't want to minimize this art, but this is an approved concept. If you guys ever see these online, like that little bloody check mark is like a tripwire. This is our art director, Andrew Kirshner, and myself, and maybe Leland, our design director, have come together as a group and like approved what these designs and these decisions would be. So here you see DJ Scully. You actually start to see very early iteration of a gunslinger where Eric was taking the time to kind of draw him with two guns. We'll be talking about a new perk later down the road. There is already a pile of guns and tests that I want to show you guys, but we're going to keep it focused to kind of like DJ Scully at this time. But yeah, Eric did a good job of there's a front view, a back view, call outs of what is goggles looking like, what is his glove in particular look like. This is essentially a blueprint that we can give to our character art team to start building. We're going to look at the next image, and the thing with the next image is it once again is about a blueprint, where in the very next image, this is all like material call outs. So as a character artist, when they are building it, it's giving them information to be successful. Is this like a Kevlar? Is this a heavy canvas? Which one is this? Like, what are the materials supposed to be? It's just a fantastic way to once again give those team members more information to be successful. So, fantastic work by Eric and AK on getting this reimagined version of DJ Scully to this point. We're now going to jump over to early character art. So, just so you guys know, I'm going to always be very candid with you and show you, like, we do an internal all hands where I'll kind of address the team on like the state of the game, things that we're working on. And in all honesty, that's what this is for you guys. We're giving you guys a very real world presentation of what we're doing day in day to make KF3 an awesome experience for you guys. So after concept art, moving into character art, we do a very simple model that is, you could call it a blockout, you could call it a prototype. This is essentially a 3D sketch based on the design of the character. So Samantha, our lead character artist, will work with the team to block out a character really quickly. Once again, it's just to capture the essence. It's like the general proportions, the general size, the general value. It is a simple mesh that we can get in game and start to evaluate from the point of view of a player, and it's not just a drawing on a sheet of paper.
And yes, chat, that butt is too smooth. I have already raised the complaints, even
There's
for a
yeah,
simple mesh. I know, I
there's
know.
no wrinkles at any point. So these are like, I think a lot of the times our artists, when they're doing these, it could be in the matter of a day or two to just get something in game and on rig as quick as possible. But I think the character team did a really good job of capturing the essence of um Eric's design here. Like, I don't, it's really important when designing a character that like wrinkles and fabric textures and those details, those shouldn't make the design. Like, the general value of like the kind of like light pants, the darker hood, the mask, like even though he doesn't have the skull on his mask, the general headset, the goggles, all of those are communicating DJ Scully at this time. Let's check out the next image where we're just going to kind of continue looking at where we are in the development stage. Once again, we're very much in the early stages of the character art process of him, but this is just showing him getting in engine at that point. So part of breaking up specialists and perks, before we made that decision, all of the characters had unique rigs and different sizes. We really wanted to originally have this sense of like individuality between these characters, so you were kind of like role playing as them. Um, but to listen to your guys' feedback and really do that specialist and perk decoupling, there's multiple things that needed to happen underneath the hood that are kind of actually already in the game before they get to you. And one of them is like unifying a rig, getting them in game, making sure that they're kind of all sharing similar sets of animation so that there's this ability when we add new specialists into the games, their ability to kind of apply to each perk just goes over as smooth and as seamless as possible. So there's a whole group of developers that are doing that stuff as well now. Like I'm not going to be sharing it, but it would be inappropriate to not share some of that hard work that some of those individuals are doing. Like earlier today, I saw a video of Mr. Foster as a ninja, and it was just really rewarding, right? Or even starting to see those UI mockups where it's like you're picking any specialist and then picking that perk to apply for them. I think you guys are going to be excited to see that, and we're excited to bring that to you in the future. This is just part of that process when building a new specialist for you. So yeah, you see him here in game using various weapons, things like that. If you guys somehow got a hold of my dev machine, you could run around as DJ Scully right now. Please don't take that as a challenge, just for everyone's own safety. All right, we'll check out the next one. One question was, I will respond to this one. Ninja Berserker. We are very aware of the desire for Berserker. I want to make it super clear. We talked about this at PAX. Ninja is not the Berserker. Ninja is very slice and dice, and the idea of a future Berserker is very much heavy melee smashing. Almost think of it like as an elf versus a dwarf, right? There's a bit of elegance with the ninja where he's decapitating, while our berserker, I'm very excited about him literally just like full on Gallagher smashing heads like watermelons. I don't even know if you guys are old enough to know who Gallagher is, but that's your nerdy reference to go find that guy smashing some fruit. But yeah, just here's another shot really quickly of that very simple block out mesh that we can take, get in game, work with our rigging teams, and get it set up. So when we're done with this is where we then start to move into more advanced 3D modeling. We're going to be using programs like ZBrush to do high poly models. That's where the character is going to come to life a little bit more. So there is an artist that we work with that you're going to see in the next image here. He started to do the high poly sculpt of DJ Scully's head here. And we do tend to like to start with the head because it does a really good job of establishing that sense of character. I want to make this part super clear. This is Evgeny's very first pass on this. So taking that concept, getting to that point, now Andrew Kirshner and Samantha, they're providing him feedback to kind of make sure we're breathing in that life and essence that is Nightfall, DJ Scully, and Killing Floor 3. But I literally saw this hours ago and I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. Let's show the community like right now. So thank you to everyone that was very flexible with like the team's like, dude, he's going to be just showing our work live now. You guys have been awesome sports about it. And I hope that the community is enjoying it as much as I was being able to see it today. So really nice work all around to everyone at Tripwire.
I will say, and just so people out there understand, like how hot off the presses this is. Like some of this stuff hasn't even been shared in our internal all hands
No.
yet, and it's coming to you guys first.
Yeah, no. Like I want to let you guys know, like, I am very excited about these types of live streams in the future. My background is in content creation for film and games. This is as pure as it gets. As like when I was a kid, I did a drawing and I would run and show my parents, and I wanted them to put it on the fridge. I am obsessed with taking the awesome art that our team does, rushing it to you guys, and then hopefully you make a YouTube video, or just seeing like some of the smiling heart eye emojis here. It's really cool to see you guys respond to it. It's motivating, so thank you for letting us show it to you. I do think I have some other teasers in here. I don't know if we want to go into that now.
I think we should. I mean, there's just so much lurking in the wings and being worked on. And I think
Other
the
shots
people
of getting here. Yeah, look at
people
this
want to
guy.
know more about what's coming, and I think it looks like a jungle out
So
there.
someone says tease us. Yeah. I will say, I've been in a very jungle mindset. I've been very fortunate that I got to go on a lovely family vacation. That's where I buy these ridiculous shirts and things like that.
Oh, you
And
too?
was yeah. Yeah, guys, by the way, this is not like Jared and I planned this. We just dress like this now. So yeah, let's just cut right to it. There is a fascination with jungles and prison and predator references. Also a lot of like torture references. We very much heard you guys about tonal elements, right? And I think we kind of proved ourselves with showing you city streets. We tried this kind of like RoboCop dystopian, like really bleak future, and you guys wanted more grime and shit and just grossness. There is some stuff in this map that is pretty intense, and I'm not going to show all of it, but there are literally like vats of acid where like enemies of Horzine are being melted in. So, just a little bit of backstory. This map is set in South America, and there is this really thick, heavy, dense jungle. And within inside that jungle, there is this old, abandoned, dilapidated prison. So that's where you see like paint peeling off the walls, rusted bars, and things like that. But on another layer, deep within inside this prison, Horzine has established this kind of like torture center and cryo prison where they're keeping enemies of the state. So this provides us with some really cool environmental storytelling of like, how did DJ Scully survive? Where could he have been on ice? Just saying. We won't show the cryo prison part just yet, but I'm not good at hiding these secrets, so we'll keep
All I'll
kind of
say
showing
is we
you.
probably got some future content reveals, even just on Jungle Prison. So
Dude,
don't worry, there's a lot
there,
more to come.
yeah. Well, one thing, like, I will challenge the community in a positive way here. Like, when we put the thing about new enemy in the game, in the roadmap,
Did we
he's
say new
vi-
enemy?
he's visible, or I would say it is visible in the game right now. There's like one web page that I found that like some dude did this whole breakdown of like the possibilities. So um yeah, like just saying, we've got some stuff that is still pretty hidden Easter eggs out there. But yeah, let's check out the next image of prison. I hope you guys like asbestos and peeling paint and rusty bars, because we got a good bit of it for you. Yeah, our lighting artist Dan has just started his lighting pass on this as well. So once again, when I talk to you guys about like wanting to get on these live streams and work with Jared, like I'll show Jared the day it comes in and just be like, do you think the community would like seeing that? And I think he kind of has. Yeah, did I just see a soap emoji pop up in chat? Like, yeah, this is like you're gonna need a tetanus shot when you play this. Yeah, prison is looking prisony. It is. So there's something that we talk about with a lot of KF maps in the past. Leland, our design director, Chris Goodwin, a lot of our LD team, they've always talked about like these layered elements within maps. And I think Sewers did a pretty good job of it, as it was our most recent map. But Prison is like really setting it to the next level, where once again you have the jungle, you have the prison, and then you have this like sub story of Horzine freezing individuals and torturing them here. So like it's not just you running around in a jungle and fighting Zeds. There's layers to this environment that the entire team, Misty, I just it's really important for me to highlight the individuals that are making this. I get the awesome job of showing it with you guys, but they're the ones making all of this cool stuff. So a massive thank you to them. And I do think we have an exterior shot maybe we can look at in case you're worried about,
The jungle looking too much like the inside of a prison in a jungle.
yeah. Where is the actual jungle part? And yeah, like, dude, it is dense, it is thick. I've done some recent play tests, and what is interesting to me on a horror aspect is the feeling of claustrophobia in wide open spaces. It's like this kind of like salty sweet type of combo, like this peanut butter and chocolate type deal. The prison is very claustrophobic. It is very tight. There are some similar scenarios, kind of like to sewers if you're running around there. But even when you step outside, while it is a large jungle and there's like these open areas to fight in, like there's like a helicopter landing pad you can fight on. I think there's kind of like this like rooftop area outside the prison that you can fight in. You still get this sense of claustrophobia just based on the amount of like the canopy being in this ravine, it being at night. Like maybe a better way to describe it is isolation, right? Like you as Nightfall are the badasses that are sent in to kind of hopefully survive and make it out winning. We talk a lot about aliens and predators as references for KF3. Candidly, those are really overused references for most media. Where it makes sense with KF3 is if you watch Aliens and you watch Predator, you have this group of really well equipped, really badass individuals just barely survive. Like at the end of those movies, it's like one or two people survive. And to me, that's when Killing Floor is like at its best. It's like going through this like haunted house experience where you're sitting at the edge of your seat and you are fighting to the last bullet, and not every single one of your teammates lives. Like that is my favorite moment of playing KF. And I would just say that this map is already starting to do a really good job of kind of encompassing some of those feelings. Is there a full on Predator reference in the map already? 100% yes. Check it out when you get a chance. So,
So
yeah.
it would do me a disservice, and I feel I would be doing the community a
Okay.
disservice if I didn't say the following words. So this map has references. This map has elevation. It's got different settings. It's got different stories. It's got layers, like an
Yeah.
onion.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you guys letting me show you some of the content. There is a series of hot fixes that Jared just spoke about that our engineering and QA team are coming out. It's really important that you guys know that we have different groups on the team that are focused on different elements. So a massive thank you to our engineering, community, marketing, and QA teams and our production team for getting some of those hot fixes in the pipe. You guys are going to be seeing some of those as early as next week. But then you also have a whole nother group of content creators and storytellers that a lot of this stuff takes a long time to build. Like the amount of details that goes into modeling a character, a weapon model, a new Zed, it is months of work for a large group of people to be doing. But with doing these types of live streams, we would love to invite you guys on that journey and show you what these development things look like. I will keep some surprises in our back pockets. I see theories of what the new Zed could be. I see you guys data mining stuff. I will gladly appreciate it, but I promise we will find ways to kind of surprise you, scare you, and show you cool shit along this journey. So thank you for letting us show you this stuff. It's always awesome talking to you guys and working with Jared and me and being a part of these community meetings.
So, Brian, and just because I've seen this come up enough in chat, and I think it's
Okay.
something we've talked about before, even at PAX, but it might have been like off the stream.
Okay. Yeah.
Brian, do you hate daytime maps now? Is that what you're
I
telling me?
do. I do. So I do hate daytime maps. We gave you guys a flashlight. Use it. I don't want to confirm anything. There are some daytime maps. One of the things that we are exploring, this is probably me breaking more NDA. I'm sure there's a producer right now like gripping their chest. We would like to do
My fault. Just tell
daytime,
me it's my
yeah,
fault.
daytime variations of maps, right? Because there are certain maps that like you're kind of like looking at maps across a whole. And even when we updated city streets, there were things on radar station that we updated slightly. There are things that we updated on um convoy. The other versions aren't null and void now, so I think just based on some of your guys' feedback and making sure that there is some visual variety, we're basically working out what's the best way to kind of introduce alternate versions of maps. Like, won't get into a ton of details, but like we've seen that feedback. I do enjoy nighttime maps because it allows Zeds to kind of get up on you a little bit faster and jump out of the darkness and scare you. But also, I don't think all horror needs to be nighttime. Like, one of my favorite horror movie openings takes place like peak daytime, the opening of Texas Chainsaw. So just seeing like a hot, sweaty, gross, melting corpse in sunlight, you can still have horror in daylight. So yeah, we will make sure to have some daytime elements as well. But until then, use your flashlight and huddle under one of those lights and try not to let a siren destroy it.
Gonna say, I think that about brings an end to today's Stronghold chat. I did want to point out and say, you know, to our normal players, you're killing it. 84%, success rate, awesome job. To you guys who have ventured into hard at 4% success rate, I believe in you. You'll get there. And to our Hell on Earth players at 0.4% success rate, you got some work to do.
I still struggle on Hell on Earth as well. Like, I'm not at that level. I know some of the YouTubers already dog on me about it. I'm going through my training. Maybe we can all train together. I play it hard right now currently, but I'm looking forward to getting at a Hell on Earth level. I will give you a hot tip. So this comes from Bill Monk. Bill Monk is one of the founders of Tripwire. He has been involved with KF1, KF2, KF3, like Bill is a staple at the company. Bill is leading combat design for KF3. When he and I play the game, he always tells me to invest in ammunition. Leveling up not only your skills, but also leveling up your mods and investing in ammunition and building out like a really solid, kind of inexpensive tier one so you can use that operational budget to buy like wave one. Like, I play sharpshooter a lot, and now I have one that has like juiced up ammo, and I think maybe I put like a foregrip and a red dot sight on it. So it's not like crazy expensive, but it gives me that fighting chance I need for those early waves. Goes a really long way. So, long story short, invest in ammo straight out the gate, make it affordable, because it is very tempting to make like this crazy custom tier 4 gun, but then it costs so much that like your operational budget might not be where you need it to be. So just focus on maybe like recoil and like the damage you're putting out with like ammo types, and that can set you up to really start taking on the waves in Hell on Earth. So thanks to Bill for that tip. I thought I'd pass that one on as well.
Thanks, Bill. So, with that being said, I want to thank you, Brian, for taking the time out of your
Of
day
course.
to show some brand new things, possibly break some NDAs, and really get the community excited about what's coming next. To quickly reiterate, as Brian just mentioned, we do have our series of hot fixes coming. The first one as early as next week, with a focus on stability, with performance items slipping into some of the follow-up items just because of the work and testing that needs to go into that. We know they're important. They're coming.
Yep.
Uh, just want to keep stressing that. Keep talking to us. Keep giving us your feedback. Keep sending those reports our way. And we'll see you out on the killing floor, everyone.
We just got to kill 125 million more. That's what we got to start doing. Like, at each million is where I start breaking more NDAs.
Okay,
Like,
I
it's
don't
like a
think
Z body
production's gonna
count.
like that, but
No,
I'm
right
all for
now,
it.
I'm sure I'm about to get a bunch of messages at work about that one, but yeah, we'll try it out. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, Mason, all the community marketing team. And most importantly, thanks to you guys for watching this. It's always fun to show you stuff. I promise that we will continue making cool stuff and sharing it with you guys and communicating with you guys what we've got going on and what is planned for the future of Killing Floor 3. So thank you, and we'll see you on the game. Bye, everyone.
Bye.